Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Cancer in mid-April 2019. What's going on, Cancer? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. All right, guys, welcome back to your mid-month messages. I shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there. I laugh because I'm a little tired. I've been doing readings for several hours now, so I'm a little tired. I'm going to take a break after I do your reading. But anyway, that's your main spread there. Shuffled off camera to save time. What I'll do is shuffle now for your outcome in your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. You check in the description box if you want to click on the timestamp to jump ahead to when the reading actually starts. I totally don't mind, and I totally would never know. Also down there is the information that you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. Right now, readings are $25. That price will be going up in June. So if you've been thinking about it, wondering about it, and you're just like, I don't know, you should do it now because the price will go up. There will be two different readings that I offer in addition to what I already do to kind of offset that price raising. But ultimately, for the most thorough reading, which is at least 40-45 minutes at $25, that's pretty good. So save yourself some money and order a reading today. Haha. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and get your outcome for mid-April, shall we? Mid-April outcome for Cancer, please. Mid-April outcome for Cancer, please. There it goes. Thank you. Bottom of the deck is the overall. What is going on? You have so many majors. This is the only one that came face down. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see what's shaking, Bacon. Wow, I said that? I can't believe I said that. That's terrible. I'm sorry. Show me Cancer's prominent energy in mid-April, please. Cancer's prominent energy in mid-April 2019. Please show me. Okay, thank you. Whew. Wow. Okay, that was kind of intense, but in a good way. I don't mind. All right, guys, coming into mid-April, you come in with the Temperance card in reverse. Show you this card upright so you can become used to it. Major Arcana for Sagittarius does not have to mean there, or does not mean there's a Sagittarius in your life. But off balance, yeah. Not so stable right now, Cancer. You might be a little discombobulated. You might feel a little disjointed in some type of way, or a little askew, like just a little left of center is how I'm feeling this. Or this is someone around you. If it's not you, it would be someone around you, and there's just like this instability. There's a lack of calmness. There's a lack of flow, of cool, calm, and collected energy. Someone might be a little feisty, a little fiery, a little spicy. Somebody might be agitated or irritated, irritable, and just like all kinds of moody. And regardless of whether this is for you or someone else, it will go either way since it's general. But God help this person because they are going through it. And I'm feeling two things. I'm feeling sympathetic for this person because it's unfortunate, whatever they're going through emotionally, whatever disturbance that they're feeling. But then I also am like feeling not so sympathetic towards this person because, listen, half of what this person is going through, at least, is their own doing. Now, if that's you and you're a little sensitive and you're a little bit in your feelings, I apologize, but that's what I'm feeling, and that's what I feel is ultimately the truth. Because if you are suffering with something, or if you're having issue finding balance and serenity in your life or peace in your life, you have to then evaluate, what am I doing to ensure that I have calmness and peace in my life? What am I contributing to the situation that will allow peace to come into my life or just be present in my life? You know what I mean? We are all co-creators with the universe. We all co-create with God. You know, I have my own interpretation of what that means, but basically nobody just has life happen to them. And if you do have life happen to you, you've given up your power. So if you're on some pity party, whether this is you or somebody else, Cancer, I feel for is about 50-50, if I'm honest. Some of you, this is you. Others of you, you know who this is. It's somebody else. And let me tell you, whoever is in this Temperance reverse energy, pity party, giving up their power, have relinquished their authority over their own life, you know, not either because they're ignorant, because they don't know that they're a co-creator, they don't know that what they put out into the world is kind of going to be reflected back to them at some point, and so they sit in misery, they sit in instability, they sit in issues of I'm feeling like distrust or mistrust or lacking faith or lacking the fortitude to push through a situation, easily give up, defeatist, shit like this. This is deep. There's a lot of different facets to whoever this person is. Could be you, could be somebody else, okay? But there's a lot going on, and that's the thing. There's like a hellstorm going on within this person, and not the irony, but the interesting thing that I'm feeling is it's undetectable by most. Meaning, if this is you or whoever this is, on the day-to-day basis, people don't know that this person is suffering. Really, they're suffering. And I don't like using the word suffer in general. I think it has a lot of weight to it, and I think people throw it around too often, but I do feel that this person is suffering. Now, we're talking about instability, we're talking about imbalance. This could be emotional, this could be mental, this could be biochemical, okay? This could be for reasons beyond a person's control to a certain extent. So if you are born with a certain condition that messes with the hormones in your body, and you're suffering in pain, or you're suffering in mental anguish, or you're suffering in emotional anguish due to biochemistry, okay, part of that is the hand that you've been dealt. The other part is if you have been given methods, medication, therapies to combat that, to kind of offset that, and you don't go to the pharmacy and fill your prescription, therefore you don't get your medication. That's where I'm going back to the whole, it's half circumstantial what this person is dealing with, what their life has the circumstances of life in front of them, and there's half what they contribute or how they interact with those circumstances. So if you or whoever this is, Cancer, isn't going and taking their medication, just as an example, and you're feeling unstable, or you're having issues with your depression or your PTSD or your anxiety or whatever, and you're not taking your medication, not to say that the medication is the end all be all and is the answer, but if you're not taking those initial steps or those primary steps to combating what is naturally afflicting you, then what can we do? What do you expect? Okay? So if it's not something like that, where it's based on medicine and we're talking about mental or an emotional issues, if it's not that, if it's stress, and if you're not offloading your stress, if you're not having a constructive outlet for your stress and you hold it in, or if people are giving you anxiety, not giving you anxiety, but raising your anxiety, if people are aggravating you, if people are hurting you, and you're not letting them know you're hurting me, you get to this unstable point of view, Cancer. But again, for anybody else's knowledge, it would be hard to see this. The person who knows this best is whoever this is, you or someone else. Now, that's what's going on. That's your starting point, yeah? Now, wow, we need to do something about that. We are doing something about that. Or at least we want to. It's okay, thank you. Two of Wands. So, whoever this is, you or someone else, they want to take action against this. They want to rectify the situation. They want to find some type of solution or resolution to whatever's going on, this hellstorm that's within. The intent is there. I don't think the action is there. The intention is, I'm going to make this better. I'm going to heal myself. I'm going to turn that temperance energy to an upright position, and I'm going to get to a point of healing and reflection and finding calmness and stillness and being okay with it, or removing sort of the bad actors or the bad or adverse stimulants in my life. If it's terrible relationships with people, if it's toxic relationships with people, I'm going to get rid of that, or I'm going to walk away from that. All that intention is there, and there is minimal action, because the wands always indicate some type of movement and progress. But I feel because of the posture there, with the two guns, in this case, not sword or wands, but with the two guns crossed in front of the vocal cord or the chest, and there's a bandana across the face, there's still a guardedness with this. So there might be a timid intention to act. Like someone might have a lot of drive and a lot of, I'm going to do it, and then they chicken out. Or I'm going to do it, but next week. There's a lot of, I'm gonna, and then not a lot of follow through. Okay? Not a lot of push through the adversity. There is still a bit of shyness. There's still a little bit of not overprotective, but protectiveness, or this idea of, if I cause the action, or if I initiate the action, what happens after? Because what happens after is unknown, we have issue. We can't be as, full throttle as we might want to be. There's unknown factors. There's this idea of, I don't know what's going to happen on the other side of this action, on the other side of this decision. And so I feel that this person is sort of, pardon my French, but I've been doing it more recently because it's my channel and I can. But this person, to a certain extent, is scared shitless, But the intention is very brave. But that's the thing. Okay. There's a quote from a movie, a wonderful movie that I love. I'm going to put this down. We're having a little anecdote here. There's a movie called This Boy's Life. Stars Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio and Ellen, what's her name? Burr? I forget her last name. But anyway, it's a great movie back in the 90s. And at one point in the movie, Robert De Niro, who is playing stepdad to Leo DiCaprio, says, want in one hand and shit in the other. See which one gets full first. Something like that. If you want in one hand and then you shit in your other hand, which hand is going to get fuller first? AKA, your intentions, yours or whoever is in this temperance energy, Cancer, just because you want it does not get it. Wanting without action, without practical steps, without plans, without is just going to be wanting. And it's wasted energy, really. So the heart of this person is set on wanting to change, or wanting to see something rectified, or given a solution. I feel it like that's from like the heart, the spirit, the internal core of this person wants that, but they lack physical action. They lack mental preparation. They don't have a plan. They don't see a way of how, and it could be that. Okay, here we go. It could be that. You might want something, but you don't know how to do it. In case of like the person who might not be on top of their medication or on top of their therapy in terms of how to treat what is going on with them mentally or emotionally. Let's say you've had an adverse reaction to medication, or whoever this is. Adverse reaction, whatever and this happens all the time, right? The medication, sure, you don't feel this way, but then you also are like super lethargic, or maybe you get like certain hallucinations along with that medication, and that freaks you out. Rightly so, okay? So you stop taking the medication, or this person stops, whoever it is. Now we go back to square one, where I'm emotionally overwhelmed. I feel anxious all the time. I feel just despondent all the time, blah, blah, blah. So I want to not feel these ways. The traditional way, or the prescribed way of doing this, sure, it offsets some of the issues, but then it introduces all these other issues with me. So then I stop doing that. And so the want is to still not have to deal with the anxiety, the depression, all those overwhelming feelings. What else can I do? All my doctors keep telling me is to take this pill, to go for walks, to do this, and none of that stuff works. So literally for somebody, they're at a very hard impasse. They're at a very hard impasse, and it's not easily solved. I don't want to make it so that, you know, everything here is just easily solvable. It's like a quick fix it. No, not at all. Not everything is like that in life. But I think this person needs to open their mind, open their pathway or their vision, broaden their horizons, basically, and look into different forms of medication. Not maybe necessarily pill form, but okay, there we go. I'm not up on this, but I know a little bit about it, where somebody might be relying on synthetic drugs or, like I said, some type of pill prescribed by a doctor, where, from my understanding, a lot of things that are based on marijuana, a lot of things that are hemp-based or CBT-based, they're actually very good therapies. And maybe somebody has led like this drug-free life, except for like prescriptions. Like maybe, you know, you've never done any illicit drug in your life. And so the idea of doing something that's related to, do you see what I mean? Like someone might not be as open to different types of therapies or different types of medications, you know, or if it's not about that, it could be like something like acupuncture, it could be Reiki, it could be anything. So this person needs to open their mind, basically, open themselves up to more options, to see different ways of accomplishing something, but they cannot right now. They're a little stagnant. I'll say that. They're a little stagnant. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Moon in reverse energy or major arcana card for Pisces. You might have a Pisces of significance in your life, but not necessarily. Okay. I'm going to show you that upright so you can get used to it. So, you know, I want to say like it's doing both. I think there's a realization because there is a minimizing of that upright moon energy with this in being in reverse, but it's not a complete wash away. It's not a complete clearing of the deck. It's not a negating it. This moon in reverse is giving me the feeling of this person realizes they're stuck. This person realizes they haven't tried all the avenues there are to try to help their situation, to give themselves clarity, or to get themselves to a healthier, more functional point in their life. They realize it. But I think, again, what's the hiccup is, well, the things that I haven't tried, the avenues that I haven't explored, the things that people have suggested to me that I've been so anti before or so resistant to before, if I try them and they don't work, okay, thank you, because the moon not only talks about what's unclear, what's murky, what we can't really easily discern or identify, the moon also talks about fears. So I feel like this person now is held back more so because of fear. They have a full knowledge of, I need to try new things. I need to explore my options here, but I'm afraid of the results. I'm afraid of what's waiting for me on the other side of taking that step or initiating that action. Okay. So reluctance because of fear. Reluctance because of doubt, and reluctance for some because of hurt feelings or being disappointed before. So because things haven't worked out before, this isn't going to change anything, like being defeatist, already assuming things are not going to go their way or not going to see improvement in their life, and adhering to, you know, kind of the devil, you know, kind of energy, or, you know, I'm comfortable with dealing with these certain factors or these certain predictabilities and elements in my life. There's no reason to charge forward with something new and then have to sort of recalibrate and take into account these new affects in my life. I don't like that. That's a hugely combative energy. Combative in the sense, not combative, challenging. It's challenging. Oh, unfortunate. I don't like that. No. So this is interesting, because we have your energy, Chariot, right below the moon, yeah, and right next to Temperance. So you have this nice little corner of major arcanas. Now, with your own energy of Chariot, Cancer, I feel like there might be some revelation, could be some turning of fortune, or some turning and reevaluation, or change of perspective when we move. Because I'm getting the emphasis on movement here. I'm getting the emphasis on interaction here. I'm getting the emphasis on others. A lot of people in this Chariot card, unlike the traditional Chariot, which shows one person and like two horses, right? There's a lot of people here. So you might find clarity. You might find some of your answers, some of your relief, some of your anxieties, or whoever's in this temperance space is offset when we get around other people, when we get around people of like-mindedness, or we get around people who are simply sympathetic enough to our situation. Yeah. Now, going back to this medication therapy kind of thing, maybe that's what we need to do. We need to get in touch with communities who are into or have knowledge of alternate medicines or alternate therapies. If this is an emotional thing, if you are, let's say, a war vet, or anybody who's having issues with PTSD, you need to be around people who have had similar experiences and who can absolutely sympathize and empathize with your experience from firsthand accounts, okay? And that will open up this door of movement. This will allow progress, because again, the Chariot indicatively, or traditionally, I should say, has this motion, this feeling, or this energy of progress, and one foot in front of the other, right? Baby steps. But that's the thing. Getting around people who are like-minded to you, Cancer, or people who are sympathetic towards your situation, who understand you, that's a big step. And that could be what's going on over here, because we do have solo figures in each of these cards, right? And then we have a whole bunch of people in the Chariot. So it could be you're moving from sort of this isolated space in your life, this isolated time, this time that you spent alone to reflect, or to try and not temper your energy, but you didn't want to necessarily expose other people to whatever you were going on in terms or internally. So you've kind of isolated yourself to kind of take a step back. And now you've come into contact with people who can help and support you, who can give you sort of a shoulder to cry on, or they can give you information that will benefit you, and they can suggest things to you that will benefit you. And so that's what I'm feeling like through this sort of confusion point. And I don't know where the tipping point is. I don't know what the catalyst is to go from that confused, fearful energy that's in the moon reverse to this more hopeful, or at least engaged and open to suggestion in the Chariot, or open to support in the Chariot. But at some point, you get there. I don't know how, I don't know when, but you get there. Outcome for this mid-April period is the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Does not have to be, but of course, that's what is represented by this character. So, I'm feeling for some of you, this is a person of significance. Does not have to be an earth sign, but it would be someone who is very clever. It would be someone who is very smart and practical and methodical, and like really about their business in terms of money, sure, but I mean about their business in terms of like stability and health and even keel, like smooth, like they're showing me like smooth sand or smooth concrete. Very smooth, very even, this person. Could be a therapist, could be, a dispensary owner, or somebody who works in a dispensary, something like that. If we're talking again about your health life. Could be someone in terms of friendship, just a very honest, capable, dependable person around you, okay? If it's not someone externally, although I think for most of you it would be, if it's not someone external, this would just be something about within yourself that you need to cultivate, or that you need to get in touch with, yeah? Those sensible sides of yourself, or the reliable sides of yourself. But for most, I'm going to say it's someone external. The King of Pentacles, they would be really, especially, they would be really accomplished in whatever we're talking about. In terms of business, they're accomplished. In terms of health and wellness, they're accomplished. They have a lot of know-how in whatever you need help with. Okay, so maybe a therapist, like I said, a dispensary owner, or somebody who, not your pharmacist, like the pharmacist you just go see at Walgreens, but like a pharmacist, like somebody who is studying pharmaceuticals, or is in a school of pharmacy or pharmaceuticals or whatever, and they have just some general book knowledge for you, or they might have more knowledge about certain medications that you should try than your doctor knows, something like that. And they would be supportive of you. They're not going to be the shoulder you cry on, because the King of Pentacles has their own life to run. They're very much interested, you know. They don't have, like, they have a certain amount of their own energy that they give to other people. Does that make sense? They're not, they're not going to be at your beck and call. You're not going to be able to ring them up at 2 a.m. sobbing. They just won't stand for that. They're not going to engage with you that way. But at a decent hour for a certain amount of time, and concerning issues where they can offer you some type of insight or expertise, they will be there. Okay? That's nice. Overall energy. A lot of pentacles now. Hierophant. Major Arcana card for Taurus. So you might have a Taurus in your life who's significant, but does not have to be. So for some of you, this is going to be somebody who's in on the esoterics, right? Who's in on the metaphysical stuff in life. Like I said, maybe a Reiki master. Maybe you've never even thought about Reiki, but there you go. You better get on the Yelp pages, or you better ask, phone a friend and something like that, because this person has some type of knowledge, some type of spiritual, they're spiritually inclined. And they still could be a therapist, but again, they could be sort of like this holistic healer kind of thing in combination with traditional psychotherapy. Does that make sense? I know those people are out there. They're very rare, but they are out there. So you might come in contact with someone like that. If it's not so grand, if you're not in like a deep need for such a person, it could be as simple as a tarot reader, or a psychic, or just a best friend who can, cleanse your aura for you. It doesn't have to be so severe in the ways that we've sort of talked about previously today. I think whoever this person is, they will fit in on the level that you need them, or the level of intensity that you need. This person is out there. Now, the thing about them is very similar to the King of Pentacles. They are not at your beck and call. They're not just going to be around 24/7, you can't just like give them, I'm sorry, there's something on my table here I had to get rid of. Anyway, they're not just going to come around when you need them most. They are their own person. They're on their own journey. They have their own commitments and responsibilities, but they're reliable. You can depend on them. Like, they're in a set place, set place like an office or a hospital, or like I said with the dispensary owner, they have a certain location, there's a certain pathway to this person. It might be hard to find initially, but once you know the way or know how to get in contact with this person and see them, you can. It's just, my business hours are from 7 to 2. So between the hours of 7 a.m. and 2 p.m., you can call on this person. If it's 6 o'clock at night, you better wait until the morning. You know what I mean? And for some of you, I think you might want straight answers from this person. I think this person isn't able to give you the fix-it. Like, this person doesn't represent a Mr. or Mrs. Fix-It. They don't have the end-all, be-all to what you need, but they can assist. They're a very good guide. They're a very good assistant or confidant to have as you work your way out of this mess over here, or whoever this is. For some of you, this is not you, but it's someone that you're dealing with, your spouse, your child, your best friend, whoever. It's a lot. It's a lot to work on. It's not easy because that Temperance energy was very strong. That Temperance in reverse was very, very strong. I felt a lot of things simultaneously, and I'm led to go back here to kind of underpin or kind of emphasize again what we're dealing with. It's a multitude of things. It's a layering of things: frustration, sadness, despair, anger, feelings of hopelessness, feelings of in some senses, like some type of delusion. So we have someone dealing with a multitude of emotions, a multitude of perspectives and understandings of their own life, and they struggle with it. They're grappling with it. They need a little bit of sympathy. They need considerable guidance and help. But ultimately, if they're not able to put in that action themselves, what can you do? Okay, so that's for you or that's for someone else, all right? Cancer, that is your mid-April reading. A little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a toughie, but hopefully you liked it. If you did, please leave a like button down below, or leave a like button, click the like button down below. You can also share this video across your social media platform, and of course comment on the video. I love to see that come through. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. I've seen tremendous growth in the channel over the last month or so, and I'd like to see that trend continue. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that button, and also hit the notification bell so you know when I upload new videos. Cancer, I will be back with you guys in about a week or so when I do the May readings, and then soon thereafter, down the line, you're going to have a birthday reading as well. Also, look out for the semi-random randoms. You know, I did that one random and I liked it. It's just combined with doing these and privates and working a full-time job. It's like, I would like to go to bed now. So they're not happening as frequently as I first imagined, but I will, again, do some random readings as well. So you have all that stuff to look forward to, okay? Cancer, I thank you so much for watching this video up until this point. Take care. Bye.